First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Set! 250!
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
We ain't giving up nothing today.
Check safety. Check safety.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Here we go. Check.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. It was Mitch Unrein that made the tackle. Big boys down there in the trenches and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
A gain of 11 on the play. And the Vikings first down.
Get the ball.
First down, here's Cousins. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. It's a foot race past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
That's good for the Lions. First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10.
Watch the backer, watch the backer.
Now Stafford. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Another Detroit Lions first down. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Rip left, rip left.
They'll run it with Johnson. Just a yard on the pickup there that'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, 70!
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And able to find the rookie Travis Fulgham. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Amendola, he was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The 21-yard line.
Set! 180!
Mike 54.
Let's set it tall. Omaha, ready to move! Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 12 yards there and a first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Let's go, let's do it.
A gain on the play. He's out of bounds.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They give to Johnson going right. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Prater for the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
At the 21-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw, Cousins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
It's a gain of 25 yards.
And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
First down, Minnesota.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing.
A first down throw for Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Cousins gives way to Cook. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. A deep ball for Dotson. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Josh Doctson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Get that quarterback at all times.
Here's Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up. Hurry!
Stafford. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Stafford now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. They run. Anderson. The tackle there by Stephen Weatherly.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
You better be afraid of me. Listen on. Be afraid of me.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
Throwing is Stafford. He'll let this go for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to. And it's 3rd down.
Well, they decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice, able to get a hand in and tip it away.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And Amendola with a catch. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Don't let him breathe. Play that tight D. Don't let him breathe, defense.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Zero.
Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
6-man. Look at him.
Here's Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down.
Ready?
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Tell me what you got. What you got, Heavy?
On 2nd down now. It's Cook. And they got him behind the goal line. Cook goes down for a safety.
And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 35-yard line.
Set. Ready?
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the screen. Pass.
10.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Hey, keep it on.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Linval Joseph forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Zebra.
55. Right there in the middle. 55. I got you.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
First. Hey, box truck.
Check 52 to the right. Check 52.
Where's that?
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
A gain of 16 yards.
We gonna work.
And the Vikings.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. A 9-yard pickup, just 1 yard away from 3 consecutive first down plays.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
First down, Minnesota.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Vikings first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
The 17-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Touchdown, defense.
Throwing is Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete here. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Cousins now. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 45-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. On 2nd down, Cook. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Tighten up. Watch your 50.
They run it again with Cook. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their history. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
We'll see what they have up their sleeve. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
Back to throw, Stafford. This one over the middle, complete to Fulgham. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Watch the curl. Shift.
White.
Now Johnson. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 39-yard line.
Set. Blue 60.
Watch by 4. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Watch the slap.
Here's Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Ready?
It's outside, guys. It's outside.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. Here's Britton Colquitt now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Here's Britton Colquitt now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Lions will take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Stafford now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
At the 41-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Rerun. Mike spot 4. Mike spot 4. Mike spot 4. Russell run.
Now Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Here's Sam Martin now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Madison running on 1st down. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
The open man is Smith. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
They'll run with Madison. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Another carry now for Madison. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo, check 3, check 3. Leave it, 48.
To throw is Cousins. Now he's flushed out left. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Third and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
We want it. Come to my work.
And they will take a knee here.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 32-yard line.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Cousins on the keeper. It's a loss of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
So the final